Hi everyone. So I thought that I'll make this short video. I'm here. I arrived in the Philippines. I arrived today, a few hours ago. Now it's night. It's about 11 p.m. and I cannot sleep. I mean, I did sleep. I slept, I know, maybe 1 hour, something like that, and now I woke up again, which is a bit strange because it's getting it's getting late even in my country. Not really night yet there, so maybe it has some effect because I'm not used to sleep at this time yet. But I could sleep a bit earlier, maybe because I was really tired. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the way wasn't easy. I mean, it was probably the hardest traveling I had to the Philippines because first on the way there were all kinds of changes. I think that some of them are related to the war in Iran. I'm not really sure about anything that happened there. Yeah, and also we had a crazy experience. Like when I had a connecting flight. So on my connecting flight, we had to wait for so long. We had to wait for so long, and we stayed on the ground. It was like it was a layover, but once the layover was supposed to be over, we got on the plane of the connecting flight, and then we had to wait inside the plane after everyone already boarded, and we had to stay there on the plane for I don't know how long, 1 hour, maybe more, and the air conditioning didn't work. The crew, they said the air conditioning is working. It wasn't working. It got so hot, so hot. They had these, a lot of airplanes have these like plastic sheets. It's like a piece of paper that's wrapped with plastic on both sides so that it doesn't fall, so that it doesn't tear. These things became a fan at a second by almost every single person on the plane, and it wasn't hot. It was unbelievably hot. People told them what's going to happen. I mean, because it was terrible, and they said, "Oh, don't worry, we are leaving soon. We have nothing to do about it. This is the situation." But at some point, yeah, it was. I can't really explain why, but I wasn't sweating that much. I think maybe because it wasn't very humid, so I wasn't sweating. But yeah, I to be completely honest, I think if someone was old or maybe suffers from high blood pressure or anything like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they fainted in this plane. I don't think that anyone did somehow, but yeah, it was like a very natural outcome of the situation. So yeah, it happened, but eventually we took off after more than 1 hour on the ground inside the plane. Maybe 1 hour and a half, something like that. Eventually we took off. The entire plane was a bit shaky. Yeah, I don't know, right? When you're in a plane and it starts like really starting the engine, it's like a super strong engine, right? Like you feel like you're sticking to the back of the seat. But I didn't feel this way at all in this plane. I don't know, maybe because it's a bigger plane. I have no explanation. But at some point, after it started speeding up, I felt okay, okay, it's going fast, but not fast enough to take off. So maybe he plans to just drive all the way to Manila, but somehow he succeeded to take off. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, eventually, eventually we took off. Eventually we arrived. Yeah, and on the way, I had a Filipina lady sitting next to me on the next seat, and she told me she worked for so many years in the Middle East. She worked in, I don't really remember the countries, but it was probably Lebanon, and then UAE, Saudi Arabia, all these places. And she told me a little bit about the hardships of working in these places. And it was quite wild to hear because she was about 40 and she already has 4 grandchildren, which is like, I'm older than that and I don't have children. I mean, yeah, it's out of choice, but I mean, yeah, it was wild to hear. But you know, this is where you really see the Filipino spirit, because these people, their life is not easy at all, right? They go through life with hardship, and you also have, you know, these people, they also have to cope, to deal with a lot of people who aren't always the most motivated. Some of their family members. So sometimes a lot of the burden falls on the shoulders of very few, and they don't make good money, even if they work abroad. I mean, it depends on the country. And she said, "Oh, my dream is to work in a country like Europe or Australia or Canada or the States, because these places they pay better and they treat you better. Because a big part of it is not only how much you get paid, but also what kind of treatment you get from the people, from the because I mean, I don't want to say that one place is better than the other, but I mean, based on what she said, this is pretty much the situation. And there are bad stories about Filipino house helpers that went to some places, and basically some of them never came back. So yeah, and these people, they run the risk, they do it anyway, because the opportunities here in the Philippines are so limited, especially if you are not educated. Because I think if someone is college educated, then it's not going to be easy. No, it's not going to be easy, but they are going to have somewhat more more opportunities, more chances to, you know, to get the foot in the door in a few more areas. But if you're, you know, if you're a simple human being, you don't have a lot of specialized experience, you don't know anything very very specific, then yeah, I mean, in the West, you can just work in a gas station, you can work at a grocery store, you can sell clothes at a big mall, and in any of these, I mean, are you going to make good money? No. Are you going to be able to survive and keep your dignity and do it in a way that allows you like reasonable life? The answer is yes. And I know that some people are going to disagree. Some people are going to, oh, you don't know how it is in the States, and if you have this kind of job, life is really hard. Yes, yes, I know, I agree. It's, I mean, it's really uncomparable. It's really uncomparable, because here the level of difficulty, the level of hardship is a different ball game. It's just much harder. And these people do it anyway, because I mean, yeah, when you have grandchildren at 40, then you don't have too many choices. You have to work as hard as you can. And the sad thing, so I asked her, okay, so maybe throughout all of these years, maybe you were able to save a lot of money so that you could build a house. They said, we have some house that she shares the house with her parents. But then again, she says that at the end of the day, she cannot really save a lot of money, because she has her expenses as a OFW. OFW stands for overseas Filipino worker, and then she has to send a lot of money to her family for their, I mean, for their expenses, because my understanding is that she supports her parents and then some of her children, the ones that don't have children themselves. You know, it's one story out of hundreds of thousands of stories. But whenever you get it close and personal, then you know, it hits differently. And you know, I am aware of these stories, but and then they do everything with a smile. They don't say, "Oh, I'm so pity me because I'm so poor." And no, no, they don't go about life with this kind of spirit. And even the crazy thing is that why did she come back to the Philippines? Because her contract was over. So why didn't she renew it? Because she could renew, but she decided against it because she had a workmate, like a co-worker, also a Filipina, that made accusations. Like she made up accusations. She stole this, she did that, which she didn't. So because based on what she said, the other girl was a bit schizo. So she decided to just let it be and just leave, and then they allowed her to leave. So yeah, there was that, and we had this long conversation toward the end of the flight. After, yeah, one thing that was good about this extreme heat and the suffering that we had in the beginning of the flight is that it really made me fall asleep, because it was this extreme heat, and then I think my guess would be that their air conditioning system works this way: no air conditioning system and no insulation. So when you are in the air, it was extremely, not extremely, but it was very cold, and when you are down there on the ground, it was extremely hot. And then, okay, this is another way to for climate control. The natural one. So yeah, it was so anyway, after we took off, because of this experience that we went through, I think I did that, and I think most of the other people, I slept throughout most of the flight. Yeah, and it was a long one. So yeah, I really slept many hours. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. I mean, if you choose to look at it this way. But then toward the landing, most of the people woke up, and then we striked a conversation, and she told me all of these stories. And eventually I arrived, and then one thing that rubbed me the wrong way was when I landed. I mean, you have to go through immigration, right? This is how it works in the Philippines. I mean, in any country, but especially you feel it very close and personal in the Philippines. So I went through the desk, and they started asking me questions, and then they said, "Oh, I can see that you have been here before and you are on the tourist visa. Why is that? Why have you been here for so long if you are on a tourist visa?" And I said, "I'm just here for tourism. I don't work here." Uh, and anyway, she said it was a like a lady there, like a in the immigration inspector or a clerk. I don't know the definition of the role. Anyway, she said, "Yeah, it's fine, but make sure that you don't work here. You're not allowed to work on a tourist visa," which I know, and they didn't plan to work here. I mean, the worst thing is to work here like in a physical job, because if you actually work here, it's as if you're taking away a job from a Filipino. So it's something that they I mean, if they catch you do that, it's like it's really really bad. It's really really bad. I mean, if you have the permissions, then of course you can do that. But if you don't have the permissions and you get a job anyway, then it's going to be bad. I mean, first they are going to kick you out of the country. They're probably going to give you like the black stamp so that you can never come back again. And on top of that, they can activate all kind of sanctions against you. I'm not really sure about that, because I mean, I didn't experience it, and I don't know personally anyone who did. But I think that they can even arrest you if you really did it for a long time. I mean, yes, it's something that you're really not supposed to do, and I don't intend to do that, right? I don't work here. Uh, but I mean, even being asked this question, it made me feel a bit uncomfortable, because I mean, yeah, I have been here before. So what? And I mean, maybe I'm like super defensive. Maybe, I mean, it's her job to ask me, and it's my job to answer, and that's the end of the story. But then again, when people start asking for your motives, it makes you feel like maybe I'm doing something wrong, and maybe I shouldn't give it too much weight. Maybe it's fine. And because I know that so many foreigners are here for extended periods of time. On the way here, I met a guy from the Czech Republic, and he said he was a nice guy, and he said that he has been here. I think not consecutively, not in one stretch, but over 2 years already, over 2 years, and he is on the tourist visa. So I mean, I didn't invent anything here, right? A lot of people do that for extended periods of time. Not everyone rushes into the, advanced visas that they offer. But eventually, of course, yeah, I had to present my onward ticket, right? I had one, like a proof that you have a way to leave the country. It can be, basically, it has to be a flight ticket to a different country, and they had one, so it was fine. She said, fine, okay, you can get into the country. Just keep in mind that you're not allowed to work here, and that if you ever plan to live here or to work here, then you have to get the right visa. And I said, sure, of course, I understand that. She said, okay, you can get in. Yeah. And then after that, my girlfriend was at the airport, so we met. It was very nice. And then we took a taxi to here, to this condo in Paranaque. And yeah, first I have to say that this area is really nice. I find it really, it has all of the necessities. There is a hospital, even two hospitals, like a throne's throw away. One is really like almost next door. The other one is a bit farther away, but also, I mean, probably walking distance as well, or a very short like a taxi ride. We went like on the way we passed by next to both of them. Yeah, and then you know the taxi drivers, whenever they see you as the foreigner and the Filipina, they are like, my experience, always 100% of the time, they're going to talk to the Filipina, because first it saves them speaking English, which I mean I have broken English, right? So I understand it. No one wants to speak English when they speak broken English. But then again, for them it's even worse. They really shy away from it. If they have the chance to speak anything else, they will. They will avoid speaking English. And then on top of that, it gives them more leeway because like I feel at least they feel like it's going to be easier to recruit the Filipina on their side. So if they want anything from you, they are always going to talk to her rather than to you directly in English. So basically, what the Grab driver, Grab is an excellent app. You just order the taxi, you write down exactly your destination, and it identifies your current location, and then it tells you exactly how much you're going to pay. And I had to pay 400 pesos, which is fine. And what this Grab driver wanted, he wanted to use something called Skyline, which is a big road that connects the airport and Paranaque. And he talked to her, but as soon as I heard the word Skyline, I understood what's going on here, what's going on there. Now, my girlfriend is amazing, but her I know the way she sees handling money is a bit different, and sometimes she's a bit slow to really grasp the meaning of things. So before she could say anything, as soon as I heard the word Skyline, I said, "No, sir, we prefer not to take the Skyline," because I mean, first before that, I asked, yeah, Skyline, right? So how much do I need to add? How much money do I need to add? And he said 100 pesos. 100 pesos for a ride of 400. And 100, I mean, am I going to be rich from 100 for additional 100 pesos? No. But I mean, is it something that you can just, ignore? No. No. it's I mean I know that there are foreigners who, I mean, who don't for them the 100 pesos is like nothing. For me it's not. And I know that some people are going to be angry with me because, oh, the 100 pesos mean much more for them than they mean for you. And first I have to say that I am on a limited budget, right? So I mean, it's not fair to put all of the foreigners in one basket. Yes, I live in a condo, right? So no one needs to pity me, because most people here, they live in like really broken houses. So yeah, I'm definitely in the top, up there of the population, because my living conditions are so much better than the average person here. But then again, is 100 pesos nothing? No, no, it's not nothing. And on top of that, I think that it's bad customer service. I mean, just raising the price. And by the way, to my defense, I will say that I did tip the driver, even though this happened. And not all of the 100 pesos. I didn't like give him 100 pesos as a tip, but a respectable, I would say even a very respectable tip. And this tip went to him and not to the toll of the skyway. It's basically it's a toll road, and I disagreed. I didn't want to pay the toll, but I did tip the driver. Uh, so yeah, this area is very nice. Oh, another thing that she told me, the lady on the OFW, the one who worked in Lebanon and in all of these places, she said, be careful. There are some bad people in the Philippines, especially now, because it got to the point that it's really hard for some people to even pay for the necessities, to even buy food, and some people, especially drug addicts, they might resort to violence. She told me a story. I don't know if it's true or not. She told me that there was a story here, something that happened recently, uh, that they like booked these motorcycle riders that take you like Grab but with a motorcycle. So they booked a ride and to some remote place, and then when the driver was getting there, they killed him. They killed him. They killed him to take his money and to steal the motorcycle. So I mean, for me as a foreigner, it means that we have to keep our head on a swivel. We have to keep our eyes wide open. We have to remember that, yeah, our living conditions here are very, very comfortable, but things can change quickly. And I try to never let my guard completely down, to always remember that if you are here and you are a foreigner, I mean, it's very visible, very easy to see that you are a foreigner, then immediately the level of danger you are in, it's never going to be zero, never. Is it something that you can handle, that you can live with? Yes, yes, but it does mean, at least for me, that I don't want to go out when it's dark. I want to bring that down to the necessary minimum, the least amount possible. So yeah. So this area, I think it's good, but then again, I would avoid going out. For example, now it's I know, after 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m., and yeah, I would avoid going out. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm here. I do feel a bit. I can't sleep. So yeah, I feel a bit strange. Maybe it's a combination of not being able to sleep and what the lady at the immigration told me, right? That I mean, made me feel like I'm doing something wrong, even though I'm really not, right? I I mean, why do they allow foreigners to keep extending their tourist visa if they don't want you to do that? But maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. So yeah, maybe the combination of these two things made me feel I know, a bit strange. But yeah, but I am happy. It's good to be here. Yeah, and I keep you updated. See you next time.